G'day. So I finally got my main base up and running, and I'm producing every item in the game now. So finally, at long last, it is time to really ramp up production and start using trains and nuclear and go all over the world to produce heaps and heaps and heaps of product, as compared to how much I'm doing now. So I've started my train system and nuclear plant, and if you haven't done nuclear before, or at least in update 3, it is quite involved, quite challenging, but also quite fun. So we'll go down and have a look. So over here is my my main train station. It's not really operational yet, but it's kind of set up in the way I want it to run. So basically, this is my main train station, this one along here. And the idea of this is to go around the whole world, which I've set the track up for, and go to a whole bunch of satellite factories building components, bring them all back to here with these 15 freight stations. So here's my main base here, and this is the train station just here. And the idea of the train is going to go all the way around the world, picking up all the things from all the satellite factories I'm going to make. Come back here. You can see it running along now. It's going to drop off in these 15 will merge into 5 and go into this storage and merging warehouse, which is designed as a massive buffer, and it will go into these 5 over here, and then go into my train, which is going to transport it to my main base for the final stage of production. So all these items are going to be things like motors and radio control units, etc, etc. Not raw materials, like finished products. And then it's going to go on this shorter train line. I'll just go here so you can see it's actually perfectly lined up with the center of my base to keep my OCD intact. So yeah, it's going to go down this train line to this station down here. Oops. All the way down there, and then get sorted and go onto this bus, split up and go up these 2 pylons, which I haven't put conveyor lifts in yet, and I'm going to match these 2 pylons over here. It's going to go up into my base, and I've got a few spare floors to put manufacturers and really get that production cranking. So that's the basic plan for my train system. But before I can do any of that, I need to get nuclear power up and running, because I'm sitting at about 1700 megawatts and I'm using about 14-ish. So I really need to get some more power going. So that's the next project I've kind of been working on for a while, and there's a lot involved in nuclear. We'll go over to that. At the moment, this train is only this train track's only a one-way loop, so you have to kind of clip through that, unfortunately. But I might add another one later. So just down there's my initial power that I have. That's turbo fuel, and in that rig down there, I've got 84 fuel generators running turbo fuel. And there's about 20 or so that I started with in that long line there, running just normal fuel. I'm not going to bother changing it. So down there is my nuclear setup, which I'm getting going. And I'm going to run it kind of like a pyramid style. I've got 24 nuclear power plants. Now this is not hooked up yet, but there's a lot involved. So really with nuclear power, there's three main things that I would say there's three main objectives you have to accomplish to get nuclear power up and running. The first one is, let me just get off this train. So the first one is producing all the items that it will need to run it. So I have a whole factory over here, this factory, producing all the items needed. Well, it's not doing it just yet, I haven't chucked the uranium in yet, for this. The second thing, which is new to update 3, is water. So running at full capacity, each one of these takes 300 water per minute. So with 24 power plants, it takes 7,200 water per minute. So getting that water in there is going to be a massive mission. I haven't started that yet. I just finished this production line here. And so all of that water, I'm going to get it from over here in the ocean, pretty much. And that's going to take 60 water pumps. So that's a little mission in itself. So you've got the water, the factory, and the third thing you got to worry about with nuclear is dealing with all the waste. And this is my setup over here, which I've conceptualized a bit, and go over and have a look in a sec how to deal with the nuclear waste. So I'll just go over to the power plant itself first. Get a bit of speed on this one, it's pretty handy. So yeah, there's no uranium coming in here yet, so it's all safe. But so also I haven't completely finished the pyramid setup. I've still got to get the design concept perfect and add a few finishing touches, but this is the basic design. So I've got 8 manufacturers, and I'm using the alternate recipe actually. The nuclear fuel unit, which does 0.6. So each nuclear power plant takes 0.2, so each one of these 8 manufacturers can run 3 power plants. And I have 8 manufacturers set up to run 24 nuclear power plants. Still got a bit of belt work to go, and obviously all the pipes. But this is the basic setup of the pyramid. The water's going to be insane to deal with. Each one taking 300. So this little spine, I guess, in the middle, it's going to grab all the materials needed, which are getting made over here. in the factory. Just go over there. So yeah, the factory itself is a fair old mission, just to get the... had to pipe in all different materials. But finally done it. And that's these 4 lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The electromagnetic control rods, the crystal oscillators, and the beacons. This one coming back is empty because it's the uranium part of it, uranium cells. And I haven't put down this line, the actual uranium yet, because I don't want to irradiate everything until I'm really ready to go. This factory itself needs 600 water, which I've done to make the sulfur. I'll just quickly run through this. You need concrete, you need a bunch of things, refineries. I need to smelt a bunch of stuff, so copper, iron ingots, deuterium, and steel. A bunch of assemblers, they need the uranium pellets. Heaps of stuff going on. Next floor. More assemblers, more manufacturers. You need high-speed connectors, quick wire, copper, all the stuff. Pipes. So yeah, basically, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. There's my beacons, crystal oscillators. I haven't put a roof on this yet. I probably will. But that's it. Reasonably fair old factory for just to get nuclear power going. So with the waste, I'm going to run the nuclear waste back into this factory, and it's going to come down this line and go off to my insane storage facility. Whoops. It's pretty handy, you can actually crash through these. Oh, can't go through there. Alright. So yeah, there's my 600 water. I know I got a bit more, but pretty much everything in that factory is in surplus because I don't want to underproduce. So this line here I'm on is going to be the nuclear waste going off to my nuclear waste facility, which is ages away on this little island here because I want it to be away from everything. Now I can't take full credit for this because one of my mates helped me with the design and a bit of building of it. But basically it's gonna just tower up over this island, just an insane amount of storage containers. Oh, the game bugs out when you come out here too, all the water disappears. But yeah, and this mountain here disappears as well, or it becomes fake. But this mountain here, bit of a game save, this mountain here stays solid, so you can walk all over it. And it's pretty big. So this storage facility in itself is a fairly massive project, which is why I have concrete, pipes and beams coming out here. So it's constantly refilling and I can keep working on it without having to resupply all the time. So this is it. This is the start of it anyway. This is just to store nuclear waste. Now this outer layer is 2 and it goes all the way around the island. The inner layer is 3 high and the island itself is a 44 by 44 square foundation. And I am going to produce even more than this. I'm going to probably get a little bit crazy. And this goes around in a massive square all the way around. And I'm just going to build this up and inwards and over this mountain and come up with some like insane amount of containers. Now I plugged this save file into the Satisfactory calculator, and at the moment, the way it is now, I have 627 containers, which is a lot, and it goes through in a snake. So the nuclear waste is going to come up here and go into this container here. It goes all the way around the bottom level in one long line, all the way around, ends up in this one, and then it goes up to the next one and goes all the way around the island again and all the way back to this one, then goes in this one, all the way around the map, back into this one, up that one, all the way around back again to this one, and then into this one, back around to finally this one here. So one thing I would advise, it seems pretty obvious, but if you forget to do it, you might be a meta strife. Because once this gets nuclear waste in it, you want to make sure it's all working. So I had to belt all these in a snake. So what I would advise is doing a test and then troubleshooting it by chucking an item in here. I'll just chuck some fuel in and that'll disappear. And make sure it actually comes out this side. Now, I've tested this system already and I actually did have to do a few fix-ups. I missed a couple of belts in all of it because there's so many. But I put a timer on and it takes 3.5 minutes to go from here all the way through it all to end up here. If you are troubleshooting a system like this, you're trying to find out where the item is, a good way is to just put the delete key and scan and you'll be like, oh, there it is in that one, and fix up your belts. But yeah, it's pretty substantial so far, I would say. Yeah, that's about it.